In this video, we're going to be talking about the Martini tees, what they're claiming, and whether or not this is the right tee for you. Let's go butts around.
Hit the ball!
Hey guys, David Folk here. On this channel we do golf club reviews, geek speak videos, instructional videos, and golf gear videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So a few days ago I was sent these Martini tees to try out and see what I thought of them, do an on-course review of them, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a first look to see what they're claiming, what kind of information is out there on their website, and kind of look at some data that they have to make claims like longer and straighter drives than wooden tees. So let's take a look at the original here. You can see that this is a 3 1/4 inch tee. It's made of a plastic polymer that they're claiming is virtually unbreakable, because they can't say it's unbreakable, right? Because nothing is unbreakable to a specific degree, but it's virtually unbreakable. They're saying that they have a verified account of a golf tee lasting 200 rounds, not holes, rounds, and the average number of rounds that they're claiming is anywhere between 40 and 50 rounds for this. They've also said that the longest reported number of rounds that a user has used a single tee is 300 rounds of golf. It's made of very durable stuff. In the pack of the 3 1/4s, you get 5 of them, and it costs like $5 or $6. I'll put a link in the description down below for an Amazon link so you guys can take a look at them and purchase them if you're interested in that. It does have a little bit of a Martini-like crevice there, and the idea is, again, to hold the ball nice and sturdy. So if I take this ball here, you can see it holds nice and easy in there. I find that, whoops, maybe not so well. I find that these tees are actually really good for my high school golfers, specifically new golfers who struggle with trying to put wooden tees in the ground and then trying to put their ball on it. They haven't quite mastered how to put the tee in the ground yet. If they ask me what kind of tees that they should be looking for, you know, these are ones that I'd recommend, or something that's wider to help them hold the ball in place, push it down in the ground, because apparently it is difficult to do that. Next, the question is if this is USGA legal, which it is. They're saying that a lot of LPGA Tour pros are using these, as well as a Tour pro who played in the 2011 and 2012 PGA Championship used the Martini tee. So you can use this in tournaments if you had any questions or might be asked a question for that. So we get into the claims that this is going to be a longer and straighter golf tee. And the secret to this is going to be what they're calling the Martini twist. If you look on the back of the original golf tee here, you can see where it says the Martini twist. If you tilt your tee into the ground, they're saying 20 degrees, which let's say is like this. You can see that it's going to be an angle, and the idea is to hit up on the ball. You're reducing the friction of the actual tee itself. It's going to be a zero friction tee to be able to launch the ball, so the tee is not going to have any impact on the strike of the ball itself, which they're claiming again is going to produce roughly 10 to 15 yards of distance and 5 to 10 yards narrower dispersion using a tilted tee like this. Now, obviously, your mileage may vary based on how well you strike the ball and what's going on, but in the website that I showed you, they have a YouTube video. You can click on that. The video looks like it's from like 2006 or something like that, but that's what they're claiming in regards to distance. I mean, I don't know how you can go much further than whatever degree that is right there, because it's gonna fall off. Maybe that's 20 degrees. You hit it there. I'm gonna be curious to see how it works out there on the course, whether or not I'm gonna see straighter and longer drives. Next, we have the step-up tees, which are going to be the tees that you stick into the ground. It has a little step up there. It's gonna hold it in place and give you the same distance, height, every single time. They're saying that from the top to the bump is 1 1/4 inches, so you have 1 inch going into the ground and 1 1/4 inches upright. That's a little higher than I like to tee my ball up for that. I'm also going to throw up a card up here for the Golf Tees 101 that I did last summer regarding tee height and whether or not you like to have a variance or whether or not you like to have the same tee height every time. You guys can take a look at that video. I actually mentioned the Martini tee as well in there. It is one of those that I don't necessarily want the same height every time, but I know people I play with do want the same height every time so they can be more consistent as what they're claiming. I'm surprised as I look at the step-up tee that it's also not at an angle, a 20-degree angle. I think that would have been the easiest thing to do, right? Stick it in, you know exactly what the 20-degree angle is. You can stick your ball on top, and you basically have it all set up for the 10 to 15 yards of gain and 5 to 10 yards less dispersion. But instead, they made it parallel with the ground. I don't know. Finally, we have the 2-inch tee, which again is going to be for hybrids and fairways. I don't know if I stuck this into the ground like this, if I would want to use my irons with that. I mean, that's pretty high off the ground for me. I don't usually tee up my irons on the tee box, but I would imagine that that's pretty high for most people when you're teeing up the tee box. I mean, that's probably a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a. I mean, that's high. That's just high. I wouldn't want to hit it off of that. I'm afraid I'd hit the top of my club. But the 2-inch tee is great for if you're hitting a fairway wood and you want to tee it up, try and get a little bit more height, a little bit more distance out of that. I suppose you could try and put it 20 degrees as well to try and get it to launch right. And this is what I actually use for all my dry ball testing. I like using it's the right height because I stick it in a T-claw and hopefully don't lose it or hopefully it doesn't go flying all over the place indoors and I have to go hunt and find it. It works well. It's solid. When I use it though, I am putting it like this because I can't put the T-claw at a 20-degree angle to give me more distance. So I am getting friction from the tee, but as you guys can see, how much does it affect or not affect? I don't know. Who knows, right? We're gonna have to go out to the course and see. As I look at the martini tees, what's interesting is that they're not like spouting the fact that laboratory tests give them 10 to 15 yards more distance and 5 to 10 yards less dispersion. Like you look at the website, you actually have to hunt and try and find that information. Even on their packaging, I mean, they talk about longer drives and straighter drives, but their marketing is just mostly aimed at fun. And when I worked at the golf store, the people who bought these were mostly women golfers. So I feel like that's kind of their marketing and their targeting isn't about longer, straighter drives, but it's let's have some fun. Let's talk about drinks and martinis and have a good time there. I mean, they even sell a shaker bottle that looks like a martini tea that you guys can buy. That's full of actual martini teas. I mean, it's their marketing scheme, their marketing stick isn't necessarily longer and straighter, hitting it better. It's fun. It's the fun tee, right? They have fun little colors and, you know, they have little step tees and whatever. But it surprises me that even though they can have evidence that says this is longer and straighter, that's kind of not their primary focus. So, if you guys have used these before, if you guys have tried these, let me know in the comments below. If you guys have put them in 20 degrees into the ground to produce the zero friction and gain the more yardage. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have found about this. I'll post those as well. If you guys are considering or at least interested in looking a little bit more into the martini tee, I will post a link down in the description for the Amazon website that you can click on, as well as the Martini Tees website, so you can read a little bit more about their frequently asked questions and a couple other points of interest in the website itself. And of course, guys, while you're down there, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. I look forward to getting these on the course and giving you some more feedback and information. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll chat with you next time.